Lesson 2 provided you with the foundations of public speaking. You explored how to brainstorm topics, identify a general and specific purpose, and create a thesis statement or a central idea. We are going to continue on analyzing and practicing proper structure and organization in Lesson 3. Over the next several minutes, I'm going to walk you through aspects of this lesson. As I'm walking you through, if you think of any questions, feel free to email, call, or stop by if you're on the Claremont campus. To begin, you're going to read chapters 10, 11, and 12. And for an additional learning tool, I've provided you with the PowerPoints to each chapter. You can feel free to go through those at your leisure. I've put the guidelines for the speech of tribute in this lesson. This is just as a review to help keep your frame of reference for the speech that's coming up next week. That's right, next week you'll be delivering your special occasion speech of tribute. These weeks are flying by, folks. Here's a copy of my evaluation sheet that I'll be using, a sample copy of the speech of tribute, and then this particular worksheet, how to begin a speech, and the next one, how to end a speech, are going to be really beneficial in any speech that you deliver throughout the summer. So let's take a couple of minutes and just look at those documents. I will require every speech to have an attention getter for the introduction, a statement of the topic and thesis, a statement of credibility, and an organizational preview statement. So if you look at this worksheet, Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, and 4 walk you through each step so that way you can have those steps in any speech that you deliver. How to end a speech? Same rules apply. I will require each conclusion to have a restatement of the thesis, review of the main points, and then some sort of vivid close with a clincher. So read through this because this is going to help you create your conclusion as well. Following those worksheets, or guides I should say, you'll see that there's a link to the discussion board from your audience analysis special occasion speech. Everyone should have taken at least 4 surveys last week. So now is the time for you to look at who responded and analyze that data. You're going to create an audience analysis summary where I'm asking you to tabulate the results for each question, quantify, which means numerically analyze, add them up, and then convert them into percentages of the total audience whenever possible. The unfortunate part about an online class is that if there's only a need to respond to 4 people's analysis, you might only have 1 person take your survey. And for this assignment's sake, that's totally okay. Still use it, okay? From there, you're going to analyze these results after you convert them into percentages, and you're going to write a 1 to 2 sentence analysis exploring what the results told you about your topic and the audience. Once you've done that, you'll submit that to the Dropbox attached, and then you're going to start to explore aspects of the body of the speech by completing a speech organizational pattern worksheet. So, let me just pull that up. After you read about well, you've already read about general and specific purpose and thesis statements, and after you read about structure and organization of the body, you're then going to follow the guide and place the letter of the type of organizational pattern that's being demonstrated in each sample below. So if we take a look here, let's go to number 3. My general purpose for number 3 is to inform, the specific purpose is to inform my audience on the occurrence of traffic accidents on Claremont Avenue. My central idea is Claremont Avenue has experienced a high incident of traffic accidents due to the inadequacies of traffic lights. Then I have two main points. Our city has inadequate traffic lights at a number of intersections, and number two, this lack of lights has caused our city to have the highest incidence of automobile intersection collisions in the state. So then I'm going to go back up here and go, okay, based upon those main points, what kind are they? Are they chronological, spatial, topic, causal, problem, solution? Using our deductive reasoning skills, scrolling back down, you'll see that there are only two main points. So it's either got to be cause, effect, problem, solution. In this particular case, the first main point is the cause, right? There's inadequate traffic lights, that's the cause. And then the effect of that cause is that there are collisions, and we have the highest incidence of automobile intersection collisions in the state. So that would make number 3, cause effect. So you're going to fill out the worksheet here, and then you'll submit it to the Dropbox here. I've placed the guidelines for the outline for the speech of tribute. Again, this outline will be due the same time your speech is due. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to start looking ahead. So read through those guidelines. It's really like a checklist. If I open up the guidelines, you'll see all of these bulleted points are what I'm asking you to include in your outline. I've provided you with an example. You can feel free to use it as a template, but make sure that if you do, that you get rid of anything that doesn't belong to your speech. So there should be nothing related to Maria Shriver in your personal outline that you submit to me. Again, the outline will be due the same time your speech is due. However, in this lesson, I'm giving you an opportunity to practice by completing a practice outline. Let's open these guidelines and I'll walk you through a couple of aspects here. So for this practice outline, you're going to develop an introduction and a conclusion based upon the topic that I approved last week here. The introduction and conclusion should be an outline format as discussed in the text, and it says in class. That's kind of what I'm doing right now and what you're reading about and what the PowerPoints are about. You do not need to develop a body for this particular outline. It's just the introduction and the conclusion. And you might be asking yourself, well, why is that? Well, the introduction and the conclusion are the hardest pieces of the outline. The body, you're just plugging in key talking points for each main point and supporting point. So this is going to give me an opportunity to make sure you're on the right track and to provide you guidance, so that way when you're putting together your whole complete outline that will include the introduction, body, and conclusion the same time your speech is due, you will know what my expectations are for that. So again, go through the bullet points, make sure you have your name at the top, and that you just kind of go through each bullet point, make sure that you have it on your practice outline. Here's the grading rubric. It's the same grading rubric that I will be using for your final outlines. It's a simple criteria met, criteria not met. And I just noticed that this says 16 points. I'll update that. It should say 17. I think. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. Let me look. Yeah, no, it should say 17, so I'll update that. But again, criteria met, criteria not met. If your name is not at the top of the outline, it's going to be criteria not met. It's 1 point apiece, 1 or 0, 1. Again, that's just showing you how you're going to be graded. Here's the Dropbox. Submit it to this particular Dropbox by the due date. And then you'll complete chapters 10, 11, and 12 quiz. It's 30 points. 15 questions are multiple choice. 15 questions are true and false. Each question's worth 1 point apiece. There's no time limit. You're allowed to retake this quiz multiple times up until the due date. The quiz will record your last attempted score. So if you've taken the quiz 3 times, it's going to record your 3rd time. You'll need to notify me if there is another time where, or another attempt that you want me to take. After the quiz, I just have some reminders, making sure that you submitted everything that's going to be due in this lesson, and then congratulations, you've completed lesson 3. As a final reminder, I know I opened this a little early, but if you didn't start it early, please remember that it should be started no later than the 25th of June and finished by the 1st of July. Feel free to email, call, or stop by with any questions. Keep up the good work.